While Ubisoft has been successfully chipping away slowly, ever so slowly, but effectively at my hype for Honor over the past few months, I am still looking forward to it. Not half as much as I was, mind you, but hopefully it'll still be fun despite the free-to-pay elements and always online nonsense that we've been discussing recently. However, on the positive side, we have the PC minimum and recommended requirements for the game, as well as the supported AMD and Nvidia graphics cards that will be supported at the time of launch. So, with all that said, let's kick off with the minimum, as we have Windows 7, 8.1 and 10, all 64-bit of course. Processor will need to be an Intel Core i3-5500 or an AMD Phenom 2 X4955 or equivalent. And the video card list is fairly long, but it will have to be a GeForce GTX 660, 750 Ti, 950 or 1050 with 2GB of VRAM or more, or an AMD Radeon HD 6970, HD 7870, R9 270, R9 370, RX 460 with 2GB of VRAM or more. We have 4 gigs of system RAM required, and this is for the resolution and frame rate of 720p at 60 frames per second, and the video preset of low with VSync disabled. Now, it's always a nice little bonus when they tell us what resolution and frame rate's for, so I can only give them even more credit for telling us the video preset and whether or not VSync is enabled with this particular setup. So of course, with recommended, it is for 1080p 60 with the video preset at high and with VSync still disabled. However, you also need Windows 7, 8.1 or 10, of course, naturally. 8GB of RAM, but CPU wise you'll need an Intel Core i5-2500K or an AMD FX 6350. As for GPU, you'll need a GeForce GTX 680, 760, 970 or 1060 with 2GB of VRAM. And AMD wise you'll need a Radeon R9 280X, R9 380 or RX 470 with 2GB of VRAM or more. Now, it doesn't stop there. We also have the supported Nvidia and AMD cards at the time of release, as I previously promised. And I'm just going to very quickly blast through the Nvidia ones. The GTX 600, 660, 680, 700, 750 Ti, 760, 900, 950, 970, the 10 series, any GeForce 10 card is fine, or the GeForce GTX 1060 or better. As for AMD, you'll need to be HD 6000, HD 6970, HD 7000, HD 7870, 200 series, so 270 or better, or 280X or better, the 300/Fury X series, or the Radeon R9 370, or R9 380, and of course the 400 series, so the RX 460, RX 470 or better. As you'd expect, it's going to be supporting mouse and keyboard, but it's also going to have support for the 360 pad, Xbox One pad, as well as Xbox One Elite, and the PS4 pads, both Pro and Original variations. So all in all, the settings are actually pretty manageable for 1080p 60. I'm sure many of you are easily going to be able to beat that, and of course, if not, then of course the 720p 30 settings are there for your perusal, and they are definitely manageable as well, and you could probably crank it up to 1080 if you're willing to, you know, perhaps not have as much detail or whatever. I mean, it says video preset is low, but that doesn't tell me if any shadows are enabled or anything like that, so it's hard to say. You know, it could literally just be the video preset is low, but for all I know, you could turn the shadows completely off and you can get an extra 10 frames out of it, that sort of thing. My point is, you might be able to tweak, you might not, but either way, it's still fairly manageable, which is definitely good to know for many people out there. So, it's going to be interesting to see how good this game is. As I said, a lot of the news about the game has drained a lot of the hype from me, to be honest, but it still looks like a good game. It's just going to be kind of tempered with these Ubisoft things that have come along in the recent months. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on this, guys. I'd love to hear from you, and I'll see you next time.